We're going to talk to Harold the H. Peacock about a Ipswich mayor who may have murdered someone, and after that we're going to talk to the Lemon Sam Kekovich about un-Australian isms.
Well, you can call him the slamming lamb.
No, he's the lambing Sam. Okay?
You didn't like my slamming?
No, but let's talk to Harold the H. Peacock.
Yes.
And how are you, Harold?
Very well, Danny, and I am looking forward to Lamb for Australia Day. There's no doubt about that.
Now, tell me this, mate. We've got to get people to send in their videos to historyouthere.com, right?
Yeah, maybe Lamb and Sam can do one. I think he'd be great. Ask Sam Kekovich. Will he send it in? And then we'll be inundated with videos.
Lamb and Sam. Now, mate, can you please tell us about this Ipswich mayor some years ago who may have murdered someone?
Yes, he may have been a murderer, but I'll let you make up your mind.
Thank you.
Because he was a prolific publican who flaunted the licensing laws. In fact, he ignored the law altogether.
Right.
He was strangely on the spot to drag a body out of the Brisbane River.
Right.
His father-in-law suffered a traumatic head injury, but he waited 2.5 hours before calling for help. His brother-in-law also suffered a shocking head injury. After being elected to council for the first time, he accidentally jumped off the Bremer Bridge. He was declared insolvent, and before being elected to council for the second time, serious allegations were made against him, but they were never fully addressed. And the mayor's name, his name is James Cooper.
Oh.
He was mayor of Ipswich in 1909.
James Cooper.
Now, yeah, so look, his pubs included the Unity Hotel, National Hotel, and Imperial Hotel. He was fined in all of them for breaching the licensing laws, and at the National for selling grog when he didn't even have a licence at all.
Wow.
His Imperial Hotel is now called the Cecil Hotel over in North Ipswich, which you can go visit today. Then there's the dead body. In 1880, Cooper was a farmer at Kylo when he was Johnny on the spot to drag the body of a neighbouring farmer out of the river. The police arrived, but the only finding was the farmer had drowned while trying to swim his horse. All of the farm stock and produce was auctioned to neighbours at presumably knockdown prices. So that just kind of raised the question. But then there's a father-in-law. You see, in 1881, Cooper and his father-in-law, William Clegg, were out riding near Fernvale when Clegg fell off his horse.
Right.
Cooper inexplicably waited 2.5 hours before going for help. But in the meantime, his father-in-law was too far gone and died. Now, there's more to it, because despite Cooper's wife was one of at least 4 siblings, but she inherited her father's entire estate when he died.
Wow.
So, and maybe this isn't significant, but just 3 months before he was killed, Clegg was on the jury which convicted 2 men of perjury. This was a conspiracy which had bolstered the police prosecutor's case in the North Ipswich Sly grog selling case. So it just seems to be a lot of coincidences. And then there's a brother-in-law. 4 years after the father-in-law's death, in 1885, Cooper's 23-year-old brother-in-law, William Clegg Jr., was also killed with a traumatic blow to the head. The brother-in-law had only been married a few days when a log fell on his head and crushed him in North Ipswich. And then there's the bridge, the Bremer Bridge.
Right.
In 1886, Cooper was elected as an alderman on the Ipswich Council for the first time. Shortly afterwards, he accidentally jumped off the Bremer Bridge from a moving train. There are rumours that his foot even had to be amputated. Now, the rumours weren't true, but how anyone could accidentally jump off a bridge was never properly explained or explained at all. Although, Danny, I can hear you saying,
is he dead?
Was he pushed or jumped?
Yes.
Yeah, well, no, he survived. And in 1890, Cooper was declared insolvent. So maybe his mounting debts and the people he owed it money to had something to do with his bridge accidents. Anyway, despite all this trouble and all sorts of allegations, Cooper was elected as an Ipswich alderman for a second time in 1903. And his crowning glory came in 1909 when he was unanimously elected the mayor of Ipswich. And that's when his legal troubles came to an end, because he was running the show. But one can't help wondering about the death of his father-in-law and how his wife inherited the lot. And did he jump or was he pushed off the bridge? There's just so many questions about this Mayor James Cooper that I want you and Damien just to help me out. Was he a dodgy mayor or not?
Well, I want to know whether they named a bridge after him. And have they rescinded that name?
Well, there's Cooper's Beer. Maybe that's after him, but that's still going.
That's South Australian, Sir Cooper's Beer. But you've got us
that
really thinking how you've built the story again, and it's just amazing where you find out the information. You should be, next time there's a murder, they should call you in because you are the ultimate researcher.
Well, I give it a go, but there are so many resources, with the birth, deaths and marriages, the old newspapers, the National Library, the National Archives, and, of course, the people around Ipswich is people just walking around recognising you, Danny. Sometimes they recognise me. I don't know how, because my face doesn't appear on radio too often.
Is that a fact?
Well, they see me. Well, they go to historyouthere.com, and then when I'm wearing my historyouthere.com shirt, they recognise me.
People are listening out there. Get on the line now, 1333882, and tell them how much you enjoy the program. 1333882. They've got to tell people because he is very good at what he does. Harold the H. Peacock.
Yes, that's right.
Historyouthere.com.
And you've also got to do your Harold Peacock chant on the video.
Yes. How do I do that?
Well, we've got to talk about that because I reckon too, Harold, don't you think? It's time Danny did a video.
I'll do the video of the yark.
I think Danny and Lamon Sam Kegovich, we want both of the two big names in Australia for Australia Day.
But listen, I'm going to do it right down the main street of Brisbane Street. I'm going to do it. Behind cars, jump out behind cars, jump in front of cars that are still moving and go, and when he's knocked over and
I want to see that. And the videos will absolutely be posted on historyouthere.com.
But come on, ladies, you were going to do it in, what was they going to do it in? Burlesque. Burlesque arcing, please. That is the way to go. At 8:21, that's historyouthere.com with Harold the H. Peacock on West Bremer Radio.